I like to look back at the bicentennial, 1976. We had, Middle Village had a bicentennial commission, and being local history nut, for some reason I wound up being the chairman of the Historic Society. And we had a historic museum. And we set it up on Metropolitan Avenue in the old, what is now the KFC Hall. And we did that, we asked people to volunteer and to provide us anything they had that brought back memories of Middle Village. And we got everything from old programs from the area theater. We even had someone who found a cannonball when they dug up Juniper Valley Park.
In 1976, the bicentennial of America, I was 6 because I was born in 1970. That's how it works. And we were doing an official bicentennial patriotism, America's bicentennial assembly. And first grade, you can't ask first graders to do anything too complicated. So what they did was they said, bring in, and of course, public school, Queens Public School, a lot of kids don't have a lot of money. So the idea was, kids, bring in a white undershirt, and we're gonna use blue and red fabric paint, and everyone gets to decorate their shirt their own way and be creative. But now everyone's gonna have a red, white, and blue shirt, and we're all gonna sing Your Grand Old Flag and other simple patriotic songs that kids could learn. So I still remember Your Grand Old Flag. And yeah, so I have a picture somewhere at home of me and everyone else in our awful, we made hats out of, paper and decorated them red, white, and blue, but it was those stupid hats that you fold out of newspaper and t-shirts with red and blue paint. And that's what you did. That was good enough.
For our family, 4th of July was a real big holiday. The family and my family lived, I had an uncle next door, I had an aunt and grandmother around the corner, cousins all over the place, and we all congregated at my uncle's house. Everybody had backyard pools. Nobody had in-ground pools, but everybody had backyard pools with the old clotheslines going up, the clothes poles, And so you'd spend the day in the pool, barbecuing, and then as soon as the lights went down, the men in the family would climb the pole, the wash pole, and set the firecrackers off from as far to the top as they could get. They would make all sorts of contraptions to do that, and it was just so much fun. And then who would be thrown in the pool at the end of the day, after the fireworks went off, and it was just, people just came from all over, and it was the neighborhood. Everybody had these long backyards with wrought iron fences or no fence, so people just walked on over and congregated in different people's backyards for the 4th of July. It was just a great, great time.
You mentioned the big bowl. I remember the big bowl. I remember the fireworks. Those were the days when a neighborhood could just have its own fireworks and do its own little fireworks show, and everyone was just like, well, what are you going to do? It's a neighborhood show. Relatively few people get hurt. No big deal. So, so my dad would somehow acquire fireworks from somewhere, and we would bring our stash and find our spot on the side of the bowl and watch what everyone else was doing, because sooner or later they were going to start shooting off the really big ones that we weren't even invested in. We had little things. We had bottle rockets and firecrackers and sparklers, and again, it's crazy to think, but in those days I was 12 or something, and my dad's like, here's a pack of fireworks, a pack of firecrackers, light it up and make sure to throw it right after you light it. That's my father being responsible in 1982 or something.
The park, it was lit up like the American Revolution. Everybody had fireworks going off, and I just remember us always going to the center of this field, this huge field, and it was made up with surrounding the field was a bunch of baseball parks. Fields, obviously, and inside we would try to get to the middle of the field without getting killed. And I mean, you had rockets flying by, you had people throwing blockbusters and M80s and all this cherry bombs and everything, and and just making it to the center, and then we'd just lie down on our backs and just stare up at the sky, and it would just be this tapestry of colors and smoke, and it was just amazing. It was awesome as a kid.